All right, I'm with you. Moving on to the NFL.
Word.
I had a couple of things I want to talk about, but I think the first thing that we should talk about is the NFL released their report cards for the team as voted on by players.
Mhm.
The Patriots last year were 29th. They come in this year at 31st out of 32 NFL teams. Um, so I guess there are some signs of progress, right? Like following last year's report, Robert Kraft announced a $50 million new investment into a new facility next to the stadium. Um, they received what, an F minus last year for treatment of families. That's now up to a C plus, so that's a great improvement. Um, but let's just kind of go through this, right? So treatment of families, grade C plus, rank 18. Food and
Mhm.
dining, 24th out of 32. Nutritionist, 25th out of 32.
Mm.
Locker room, 22nd out of 32. Training room, 30th. Training staff, 26th.
Mm.
Weight room, dead last, 32nd. Strength coaches, 26th. Team travel, 31st. Head
Mm.
coach, 24th. Ownership, 29th. What do you make of this?
It- we might be here another hour. I'm joking, Holland. But man, it made my head hurt reading that earlier, or even listening to you now just saying it on phone. Mm. I think the first thing is that I didn't realize that they had felt that highly about Gerard Mayo, right? Because
Yeah, just
also
sorry to cut
what
you off, but 93% of Patriot players feel that that Gerard Mayo was efficient with their time. What? What?
so it's conflicting because obviously we heard so many stories come out saying, which is why I think Chantel, his wife, said, hey, we're gonna have our story, it's gonna come out, whatever. So yes, there's always or three sides to a story: your side, their side, and then the truth, right? So cool. Um, I'm glad that he got someone vindicated here. Because maybe that propels him to get another job somewhere else. It just shouldn't have been here. He wasn't ready here. That's once again not an opinion. That's a fact. Um, the team travel was jarring as well. Once again, Robert Kraft is not hurting for anything financially. Hasn't been for a long time.
Yep.
Um, that when it comes to lost profit, there's no way that he's in the red. There's no way. There's no way. But this is why I went on a rant that I went on at the beginning of last year when I was like, we're more concerned about the lighthouse. We're more concerned about Red Robin. What? Red Robin? What? I said Red Robin. We're more concerned about restaurants and movie theaters and cosmetic stores than what's going on the field. What's going on the field will always be the main attraction. Always. Always. So the fact that you neglected the product on the field for everything surrounding is insane. Because guess what? In this city, in this region, when all of the teams are going well, once again, we're going to support regardless, but the money would be flowing for sure if the team was still, 11-6, 12-5, 13-4. They're going to come, especially even when it's 20-degree weather. And that wasn't happening last season or the season before. But you can rest assured, if they're in contention this year at 12-5, say, let's put that random number out there, they'll be there in December. They'll be there.
Well, in
They'll be
fives.
there.
Fuck,
Yes.
we're
No,
not going
I'm
to talk
saying
about.
that was the case. And that was the case. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think 9-8 to get them in the building. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
just like that. That to me would show major signs of progress, but it's like that's where, I'm glad Vrabel didn't make the same mistake by saying, we're going to burn some cash. But he's putting the pressure on the front office to get the job done. Elliot Wolf thinks, I'm the one that makes the final say. Okay, buddy. That whatever makes you feel better, buddy. You're hey, it is number 50 who is making that decision. You're a pawn on the chessboard, buddy. You're a rook. The fuck out of
yeah.
here. Like,
You're under contract, and Kraft doesn't like to pay people to sit at home. So like
right,
that's what that
exactly.
is. But
Yeah.
like back to like, just the grades on this. I think you mentioned the team travel. The fact of the matter that they rank 31st out of 32 teams. Did you read some of the feedback?
I just thought it grazed on the surface. I didn't go through the feedback part. No.
All right. So team travel. Players want an upgraded team plane. The current plane is too small. There is no Wi-Fi available, and there are seats with ashtrays in the armrests. Players specifically responded that our plane is the worst thing: size, space, safety, and it's not conducive to preparedness for athletic performance. Do you know that the planes that Robert Kraft purchased? He purchased 2 planes for $10 million. What was it? 2011. They were designed and built in 1991.
Unbelievable.
So these planes are 34 years old. 34 years old. Now, every player has a first class seat, but you still have a plane with ashtrays, and it's 2025, and you don't have Wi-Fi on your plane. Are you out of your mind?
That's insane.
What are you doing? Weight room F. They think it's the worst one in the league. I mean, that how do you promote a winning culture and a winning organization and believe your own bullshit when the players are telling you that this isn't that anymore? I don't understand. I don't understand.
I don't want to go CM Punk because I a line I'm about to say. I don't want to say it. Yeah, I don't want to say
it sounds like a pipe bomb.
Maybe the team would be better when he's no longer here. And I'll just say it like that. I won't go any further.
We're never getting any member of the Kraft organization on the show, so that's out.
Yeah, that's fine. They can massage their way out of it. But I'm good. It's how many times are you going to get embarrassed with these reports before you say enough's enough? Because guess what? Your fellow owner down in Lansdowne finally woke up a little bit and said, hey, they've been talking enough about me. I need to do a little bit of something. Once again, I'm not going to go out and get every free agent, but I need to do something to make incremental improvements. So, you got embarrassed in 2021. You spent $250,000 in, real money. But let me say this, and you know where I'm going with this as well, because you brought this up as well. We have in this case, we have a Michael Felger way of thinking in this regard, that the cap is crap. Philadelphia is getting whoever they want. Whoever they want, they're getting. Don't tell me that you can't find a way to put in the signing bonuses, deferred money, whatever angle you want to go at. Once again, you found money for massages, you could find money for these players. It's that simple. I want to see a better product, period. I do not expect the Super Bowl every year. That's insane. Once again, some fans are like that. That's a joke, in my opinion. But I expect you to be in contention. I do. Once again, you've had 30 years where either you only had Bledsoe, then Brady, and then you unfortunately had to have 2 or 3 years with Mac Jones, and then now you got Drake May. You've hit in that department. You've hit there. You've done really well. Figure it out. So need a 2001 type offseason. Need to bring in a Vrabel. Need to bring in Anthony Pleasant. Need to bring in Otis Smith. Need to bring in Jermaine. Like you need to bring in some guys that say, okay, we haven't done much elsewhere, but we could play, and put them in. Harold Landry, who's now on the I think on the trading block. He played for Vrabel, and he had 10.5 sacks last year. Bring him here. And that's how you turn it around, Robert Kraft. That's how you get a better grade. Bring in guys that are actually talented, not guys that were, in the warehouse at Walmart 3 weeks ago, and now trying to fight for a spot. It's ridiculous.
Well, we're about 14 days away from the start of free agency. Vrabel has come out and went at the combine saying, quote, I'm confident we're going to be aggressive. We've started some of these discussions internally. We have to be ready to pivot and adjust and have a vision for each player at each level. There's going to be this high level financially that things are going to get done very quickly. That will transition then to maybe some mid-range dollars. And obviously you look at opportunity free agency gets broken down into compensation and opportunity, I feel like we're in a position to offer both. When asked about how much say he's going to have in terms of the draft board, the free agency, he said, quote, "I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't have wanted to be the head coach here if I wasn't comfortable with my impact on the roster."
Mm-hmm. Love that.
What do you make of those
Love,
comments?
love that. Love that. Once again, that's what you're supposed to say. You better feel that way. And yeah, once again, I think to an extent, Kraft saw an error of his ways last year. Once again, I do
Back
think
at the
that
bridge truck.
well, back at the bridge, but I'm saying as far as just the investment in coaching this year clearly was much different than it was really in years past, the last 4 or 5 years, obviously. You couldn't rest on the laurels anymore of having the best coach of all time. And once again, and I'll reiterate this because I think it's relevant because of what we just talked about with him being ranked 24th, talking about Mayo. And then you let him go to Carolina a few years ago. Let him get his lumps there, build the Rolodex, and then you say, you know what? I know we didn't give you the initial promise, but now that Bill's gone, we want you to come home and I'll give you a 5-year investment. Boom. A lot of us would have been like, okay, don't love that he didn't do great in Carolina, but Kraft's wallet, maybe it's better. Cool. You have a whole different outlook going forward. But you didn't do that, and you caused unnecessary vitriol to be spewed all over Gillette Stadium and mainly at one Gerard Mayo. So it is what it is. But to the Vrabel point, like I said, absolutely love it. Glad that that's where his mindset is. I think that the team is going to be, and once again, it's cliche stuff. Oh, they're going to be tougher, but I really do believe that. The toughness factor has been gone for a while. Like they've been a finesse team, I would say, since like 2017 in general.
I don't know. That's 2018. I mean, look what that defense did against the Rams in 2018 Super Bowl. Like, I mean, they held them to 3 fucking points.
Yes, they held them to 3. Sorry, 20 from 2019 to now, they've been finesse. That team started out 8-0, and then they just sputtered. So from that game against Baltimore, ironically, Lamar Jackson was the one that exposed them, and then the rest was history.
I think you need to get off the whole Lamar thing with me, dude. It's just never gonna happen.
Well, no, I'm saying it was ironic. That's the guy that it was a beginning and the end. It was because of him. That's also here. Because that changed everything. That defense.
The real end of that era was because of Vrabel. Out here,
right?
What I want to, I just one last Patriot note before we can move to the other, just one other story in the NFL I want to talk about. The rest of this quote, though, this is what I find is so interesting. It feels like there's already that internal fighting. Quote, "We want to continue to have great conversations with the personnel staff, with me, with the vice president of football operations and strategy, John Streicher, and with coaching. We're all just trying to find ways to bring the right players in here." Who did he not mention?
Elliot Wolf.
Do you think Vrabel does that by accident?
No, but I remember everybody that's talked about him has mentioned he's also my birthday twin. Let me put that out there. We're both August 14th. So if I can add a little insight, it's absolutely on purpose. It's absolutely on purpose because when we're not a fan of someone, we will do everything we can to be dismissive of them. Once again, not going to be a complete dick about it, but you're going to know, and that's what's going on. And I, for one, am here for it because I'm the same way. So keep it going, coach.
Love that.